Hey folks, Vortex here and welcome to my review of the Sgor Luna. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce the actual make, but it's S-G-O-R. And yep, this is a planar model, so a few people have asked, basically requested me to try this, so here it is basically. And yeah, as usual, full disclaimer is I'd like to thank Linsar for sending this out to me, so thank you very much. I was not paid to do this video, and all thoughts, opinions are my own. And price, I'm sure this is around £50-ish, I think. So probably a good rival to this would be the KZ PRX or the RTT10. Those kind of models, obviously depending on the price, because obviously price varies a lot. Obviously this is filmed late April. Anyway, so yeah, let's just get into it. So I've never heard anything from this company before. I don't know who it is. Anyway, let's get into it. So let's have a closer look at the Luna. Again, Sgor, maybe is how you pronounce it. So mine is the black no mic 3.5. So technically the cheapest, I think, and the most straightforward. Some information on there, like location. It's got France, maybe an importer, who knows. Looks crazy V-shape, so I hope it isn't like that. Yeah, so 13.5mm driver. So normally they're either like 14-ish or the cheaper ones are 12 something, I think. So 13.5 sensitivity is low. So again, you probably need a good dongle for this, 96 dB. Big frequency response, so we obviously see what that's like. Cable length 3.5, like I said on side, 27 ohm impedance. Some information there, again in Chinese as well, small kind of packaging. And yeah, never heard this from anything from this brand before. And remember to feel free to love music, according to them. So a bit on the basic side. Okay, these look pretty cool in black. I think there's a couple of different colours. Packaging reminds me of KZ. But obviously we'll have a look. Warranty card there. Tips in here. I'll have a look when I get to the review. So there's 4 in there. Get these out. That'll do. See there, it looks like mine of KZ maybe. Big driver there. Some sort of city effect on the driver. I'm quite curious of that. Luna, obviously 2-pin. Bit of weight to it. Slight fin here, which looks fine. Take this off. Some sort of mesh on there to help dampen it, so that should be beneficial. It reminds me of kind of KZ. I don't know if it's TRN, I'm not quite sure. Let's see what this cable's like. But yeah, it feels like if it's tuned well, I'm not too bothered with who makes it. Okay, so this cable's a bit different. This is pretty good. Straight 3.5. Cable doesn't look too bad. I'll try it when I review it. So yeah, quite curious. Planars, especially pretty affordable planars, I always look forward to. Again, I do prefer them over a DD because I think they just get the extra performance. The driver's just a bit faster. Also tends to have better extension, but the trade-off is a single DD normally sounds a bit more natural than like planar. But these planar drivers have come so far in the last few years where they used to be so expensive. Now to be able to use a planar without EQ is quite astonishing, really. Anyway, slight ramble, but anyway, yeah, I'll see what this is like, and I'll see you later on. So welcome to my review section of the Sgor Luna, or Sgor. I'm not sure the pronunciation, but obviously here it is. So included cable, not too bad in my opinion. I think it's alright, but yeah, 3.5. It's a little bit stiff, but it's not too bad really for something more on the budget side. 2-way Y split here, no chin slider, which is good because like I've said a million times, they don't really do anything in my opinion, and obviously that's what they look like fitted. So yeah, quite large shells, but I'll get onto that in a second. Obviously there's R on there, and then I would say L. Super straightforward. Just take these off. So build quality, shall we say? So it's mostly plastic. They are a little bit heavy. This feels a bit different on the back, but it's an all plastic shell. Build quality seems fine. There's the massive planar. Well, it looks massive in that kind of shot. And yeah, so comfort, fit. These are quite large, as in you can see proportions. They're quite a big unit considering the driver. I can see why, because you can see the driver covers nearly top to bottom of the shell. Not too bad, but they're easy to like position, because you can actually grip these from the side, so they're easy to pull in your ears, which is quite good. But comfort, fit to me was actually okay. Actually, probably was more than okay. I've used these for a few hours at a time, no problems at all, and stuff like that. Pound sensitivity. Now I find these very power hungry. Probably one of the most power hungry of the planar IEMs that I've tried. I've tried a few. I haven't tried all of them, but I've tried quite a few. Yeah, definitely power hungry. You definitely want to use one of the more powerful, I think, dongle DACs, at least for this. Really is a good place to start. And then it sounds what it should do, like, as in, if you're not power enough to sound a bit flat. Anyway, so technicalities on this set, pretty good. Same for details, resolution, all pretty good really. Timbre on this set, not bad, but it still has that kind of taste, that kind of tonality to the planar. But not too bad at all. So imaging, pretty good. Stage as well, pretty good. Those have seemed to good extension, so I like these type of things for gaming. Not necessarily competitive, but for, you know, there's no drop off of detail is what I mean by that. So anyway, so that's what they are like. Obviously when I get to conclusion, I'll compare to others as well with it, so don't miss that section. So anyway, tuning and sound, put a graph up now so you can have a look. So one thing is, shame there's a bit of a mismatch going on, but it's quite difficult to get planars to match quite well. Obviously there's a bit of a mismatch more towards the sub bass, less noticeable than mid bass in my opinion. Anyway, so bass, obviously more of a mid bass set with sub bass roll off, which is a bit of a shame, but less of a deal than you'd probably think, because again, more music tends to have more mid bass than sub bass in my opinion, so less of a thing. But then again, it is a negative for these, but they are quite a bass set. They do sound kind of DD like these set did, which is a bit different. But yeah, mid range, I think this sounds pretty good. Good female vocals. I didn't find them that shouty or anything. That sound quite realistic. Male vocals on this set was pretty good. They sound quite kind of a thick to the tone. Apart from that, the mid range, everything sounds fine. All the instruments and whatever sits in that kind of part of the frequency response sounds really good. Quite happy with it. Again, up to this point, sub bass roll off and the mismatch is kind of the bigger ones, but it's not as bad as you'd expect, or as you expect to think. So treble, again, another mismatch. I didn't really notice this. Again, I graphed this after listening to it, but you can see good extension as usual. There's a peak further on. Didn't bother me at all, to be honest, and I can hear past 15k. But yeah, good detailed set. Didn't really sound that sharp or anything. Again, if this is a DD, it'd sound a bit more aggressive than I'd say a planar. Planar seems to sound a bit smoother where the graphs look otherwise. So I always find a planar graph a little bit misleading. Again, like I just said, if this was a DD set with that kind of graph, it'd be a bit shouty, a bit sharp, and I wouldn't like it. But planar's different story really. But yeah, again, mismatch, which is a shame. But and again, like I said, less of a deal. It's less of a problem than you'd expect. But yeah, pretty good detailed set. Again, in this kind of ballpark, you've got the KZ PRX, which I'll mention in a sec, and the same for the RT T10. Again, depending on pricing, because it can vary wildly these days. So obviously you have to check what's best for you. But anyway, treble, quite happy with it, apart from the inconsistency really. But yeah, I'm quite happy. A few folks recommending me to try it. And yeah, so conclusion really. So what do I think of the Luna? Not a bad set. Better than I was expecting. Yeah, could do with better quality control really, but it's less of a, it's not as much of a problem as you expect. Again, if you don't have anything to way of measuring it, you may not notice it. But yeah, so quick and dirty. So RTT10 against this is a a better driver in my opinion. They are a brighter set, a more detailed set. This is a little bit less fatiguing than that one. That can be fatiguing, but EQ solves your problem with something like that. But the T10 is technically a better set, technically, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I like them all. They're all different. They've all got different shell designs. They're all different companies, basically. KZ-PRX, which is probably a bit closer to this one than the T10. So PRX is a smaller shell. I'm excluding accessories because obviously you know what these include. So PRX is obviously a bit smaller. I don't think it's as hard to power. That's got a bit more sub-bass emphasis as well. It's a little bit smoother with the tuning. I like that set. That's a pretty good set as well. So yeah, I like these. And again, better than I expected. I appreciate the folks who recommended to try it, and I eventually tried it. So negatives is the shell is a bit big, but that may or may not bother you. It didn't bother me. Quality control maybe could be a little bit better. Power hungry which is a bit more than I expected. And yeah, overall kind of typical planar tuning. It's not too spicy. Again, it looks bright. It doesn't sound as bright as it look on the graph, so just a bit misleading. But yeah, I'm quite happy with it. I think it's a better. I'd recommend this, but obviously pricing, I have no idea what this is now. I think it was around £50 when I last looked. But obviously with what's going on in the world and wherever you are in the world, it can vary wildly. So just check what's best for your country. And yeah, not bad. Good to see another company do a planar. But then again, this looks more like a KZ product or a TRN product. So I'm not quite sure actually makes this is another thing. But yeah, I think I'll probably end it there. So yeah, good set. Glad I tried it. And yeah, so depending when you watch this video, a few things in the pipeline are a couple of more Kiwi ears, and this is Sgor. You probably know what they are, hybrid setups, and one's a quadbrid, so I'm quite curious to see what that's like. And there's one from another brand I don't think I can mention it, but anyway, keep your eyes peeled. And then maybe as a spoiler, I might be having a break after that, but we'll see what the future holds. Anyway, enough waffling on. So yeah, if you like what I do, as usual, like, subscribe, please leave a comment, or if you want to know anything more about this. Thanks for watching, take care, and yeah, as usual, thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video.